The moment lasted less than 3 seconds. No speech. No cameras called in advance. No royal statement. Just a handshake. And somehow, that handshake may have changed everything. Because for months, every signal coming out of Montecito pointed in the opposite direction. Silence, distance, frozen loyalties. A family divide so deep that even insiders had stopped talking about repair. So why would Prince Harry suddenly return to London now? And why, according to multiple royal insiders, did Prince William agree to meet him at all? That's where this story becomes far more complicated than anyone expected. Because this isn't just about a visit. It may be about what happened before the visit. Behind palace walls, there has been growing tension around Harry and Meghan's reported plans to bring Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet to the UK this July. A move that would mark one of the most significant royal returns in years. Officially, Harry's trip is tied to the 1-year countdown for the 2027 Invictus Games in Birmingham. Simple enough. At least that's how it looked. But something changed. Quietly. And fast. According to insiders close to royal circles, Harry's tone in private conversations has shifted in recent months. Less defensive, more reflective, almost as if he's realizing something. Or questioning something. Because here's what doesn't add up. If this trip was purely about Invictus, why were private channels between Harry and William suddenly reopened? Why was security reportedly tightened around certain meetings? And why are palace aides allegedly describing the atmosphere as extremely delicate? That phrase matters. Because delicate usually means one thing in royal language. Someone knows something. For years, the story of Harry and William has been one of distance. Once inseparable. Now almost strangers. The damage from interviews, memoirs, documentaries, it stacked up. Each public appearance felt colder than the last. But this week, whispers started spreading across London after reports emerged that Harry had made contact earlier than expected. Not publicly. Privately. And it wasn't just to coordinate travel. That's the part raising eyebrows. Sources claim the conversation focused on future implications, surrounding the children, public appearances, and family positioning. That wording is unusually loaded. Family positioning. In royal terms, that's never casual. It suggests strategy. And this is where the story takes a turn. Because while Meghan has long been seen as Harry's closest advisor, some royal commentators believe Harry may be stepping into a different mindset ahead of this UK trip. Not rebellion. Not surrender. Something else. Distance. Emotional distance. And if that sounds subtle, look closer. Over the past year, Harry's public appearances have increasingly centered around solo causes, veterans, mental health, Invictus. Less couple branding. Less unified messaging. Some dismissed it as scheduling. Others now wonder if it was the beginning of something bigger. Then came the alleged handshake. No photo release. No official confirmation. But enough insider chatter to ignite headlines across British media circles. And if true, it marks the first meaningful physical reconciliation between the brothers in a very long time. But here's the real question. What was said? Because according to one palace-connected source, the meeting wasn't emotional. It was practical. Direct. Possibly uncomfortable. And that changes everything. A practical meeting means agendas. Boundaries. Conditions. Some speculate William may have laid out clear expectations if Harry intends to bring his family into royal orbit again. Others believe Harry himself initiated the conversation to avoid further public chaos during the July visit. But midway through all this speculation, another twist emerged. Reports suggest Meghan was not expected to join every part of the UK schedule. That detail landed like a shockwave. Because historically, their appearances have been tightly coordinated. So why the separation? Scheduling conflict? Strategic optics? Or something deeper? Royal watchers immediately split into camps. One side says it's logistics. The other says it signals a quiet shift inside the Sussex household itself. And then there's William. Because insiders say he's approaching this entire situation differently now. Less anger. More caution. He's no longer reacting to Harry. He's assessing him. That's a huge difference. Reaction is emotional. Assessment is strategic. And in royal families, strategy always wins. Especially when the monarchy itself is under pressure. King Charles' health concerns have already changed the internal balance. William is carrying more weight than ever. Which means Harry's return, even temporary, carries consequences far beyond headlines. It affects perception, succession optics, public trust, and family stability. That's why this handshake, if confirmed, matters so much. It wasn't forgiveness. It may not even have been peace. It may have been recognition. Recognition that something bigger is coming. And both brothers know it. Because the July trip isn't just another visit. It's a test. A test of whether Harry can step back into Britain without reigniting old wars. A test of whether William can tolerate that. And perhaps the biggest test of all. Whether the past can stay buried. Because if there's one thing royal history teaches us, it's this. The most dangerous conflicts are never the ones we see. They're the ones happening behind closed doors. And if this handshake was the first crack in the ice, the next move may determine whether the House of Windsor heals or fractures for good.